Hi, this is Satiris Basacharopoulos, and tonight I'm going to be interviewing Leon Barnard, and he is an inventor, and he's basically invented a new energy source. It's called ATRE, the ATRE energy system. Is that correct, Leon?
Hi, Satiris. Nice meeting you. Yes, I believe that is pronounced correctly. It's ambient temperature resistant electricity, but the actual true application for the name would be earth ambient temperature resistant electricity, as this system actually gets most of its energy sources in electrons from direct connection with the earth.
Okay, very good. Okay, so that's basically what ATRE stands for then, yeah?
Yes, that is correct.
Yep, okay.
So it would be earth ambient temperature resistant electricity.
Okay. What's your vision for ATRE in the future? You know, what are your big plans? I'm sure, you know, having such a great idea, being able to do these sorts of things. I'm sure you have a vision for the future for this.
Oh, absolutely, Satiris. What I envisioned actually is to build a range of applications for this technology. But of course, you know, every entrepreneur starts off with only the first product that you want to commercialize and test your market and see how widely the market can be applied to scaling the technology. So I believe this technology is extremely scalable, so that we can bring it eventually down to, say, the size of our laptop computers right now to power a laptop. So you don't need to plug it in anymore in a wall socket. So you can think about the scalability here and the potential applications in the world for this technology. So you can now obviously scale it to bigger size electricity, so to go to larger kilowatt systems to eventually power a household. So you have no need to connect anymore to your utility company and pay those heavy bills. So there's a great potential in this, but there are still some work to do.
Yes, I would say there'd be very few people that doesn't appeal to.
Yeah, you know, honestly, when you talk to a lot of scientists and engineers on this subject, very few are believers of ATRE technology, for the simple reason they believe what Tesla discovered and say, you know, in the universe there are nothing like free energy. Now, I do not make a claim with ATRE about the system is completely free. It does use something. It uses water and contact with the earth as the input source to charge up the electrons, to get a charge to electrons that goes into a crystal from where it discharges into conductors. That's the basic, simple operation of ATRE.
Brilliant, brilliant.
So my vision for the future is let us fund this and get the public behind us all over the world, and let me get the smart people on a team in a company, and let us look where I am today and where we can be tomorrow.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. What actually gave you the idea in the first place, Leon, about the ATRE energy system? Was it just sort of through trial and error, or it was something that you've been sort of thinking for a long time? Or
to be honest with you, the idea started a couple of years ago in 2011, when I bought my first few solar panels and installed them in my place to help reduce my electricity bill here in British Columbia in Canada. Now, of course, we get very terrible weather systems in British Columbia, so it can rain for months on end, like we have now. so you don't see the sun for quite a quite a few months, and we can get heavy dark rain clouds, and we have very short days. So the solar system didn't match up to my expectations. I got about 20% of their potential energy.
Yes.
So that triggered me, in some sense, to think of something that will work 24 hours a day and work on that concept. So I did not really come across this by accident. It was always something that I was playing around with. Call it fooling around. You do a lot of private hobbies and stuff, and I always experimented with different things.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter that solar and the fact that I wanted to reduce my electricity bill and get something cleaner as a form of energy, that this triggered a whole range of simple connections that I made one day. And I realized that when I pushed the wire to the earth, the LED light was shining much brighter. And then I start to do some voltage tests and amperage tests on my findings, that I realized that an earth antenna connection through water, which actually give you the perfect reaction, because water stores all its electrons in the oxygen molecule particle of water as H2O, right? 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen. So you will find that when electrons get charged in rain clouds and it forms, the electrical lightning in clouds, the same concept happens in the ATRE panel. I just used, instead of rain clouds, I use graphite magnesium crystals, which gave me the same kind of reaction as what happens in a rain cloud. And the acceleration of to create wind, if you can call it, in rain clouds, because wind in rain clouds cause the actual vertex of electrons, that they pick up speed. The particles pick up speed and they bump against each other, creating a charge. So in this case, in the ATRE panel, what happened here is the acceleration comes from charging the water with a magnetic induced field, which is in a very smartly designed plug called the Barnard plug that goes into the crystals. So the Barnard plug made contact with the crystal, and on the bottom side and on the top side, it actually connects with a inductor. And that inductor is also in contact with a magnet. So I have a complete magnetic induced field that accelerates the electrons in the oxygen particle of water. Now, if you compare this technology to hydrogen fuel cells, I am not that far off from a hydrogen fuel cell. I just use magnetism here.
Yes.
And hydrogen use specific metallic filters to do that separation. So this is the main difference, and my through trial and error, I came across water to be the best electrolyte to use. Which can contact the earth, and it can also contact the Barnard plug, which has the induced magnetism. And water molecules are the best electrolyte source because of the electrons that are naturally flowing into the oxygen side of the molecule, where they can get accelerated by magnetism, and it can charge. It creates a charge to the electrons. So this forms the basic operation of ATRE.
Brilliant. It sounds quite complicated to me. Have you, did you have a particular background in science, and a lot of that sort of stuff because it sounds really complicated for the ordinary person, you know.
Well, you know, to be honest with you, the system is actually operating very simple.
Okay.
To put it in very layman's terms, what you have is a lot of different metals that are in contact with another. So it's very opposing materials.
Yeah.
And I call that an array of metals.
Okay.
And the contact between them I called contact electrification. So what happens when you contact a lot of materials that contains very opposing characteristics? What happens, you create a voltage in them, but it's called a ghost voltage. There are no amperage.
Okay.
In other words, there's no flow. Amperage in electricity means you need to get a flow of the electrons to create really an electrical current.
Okay.
So in very layman's terms, this technology is contact electrification, but it uses water as the electrolyte.
Right,
now, as I explained earlier, now in more difficult technical terms, that water has the special ability to store the electrons on the oxygen side of the molecules. And it is easy to get those electrons charged up, if you understand what I mean. And I use that charge up through the contact with the earth and magnetism in the inside of the ATRE panel. So my background, of course, is electromechanical technician. I'm an electromechanical technician in background, so I worked as an electromechanical technician for many years. So I have like 50% electricity knowledge and 50% mechanical. So this is my background.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's a perfect combination for what you're doing, you know, because the average person wouldn't know where to start with, you know, with all that. I'm not very engineer orientated myself, you know, but it's absolutely fantastic, you know, to be able to, you know, achieve that. You know, an alternative energy source is brilliant.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I think myself that the discovery isn't that significant, because I believe Tesla and people before me many years ago in electronics have already made those discoveries, but I believe they just did not have the tools that we have today to do a little bit more experimentation to bring it to a point where you can actually create flow of electric current. So.
Yeah. Are there any actual drawbacks to using the energy system? Is there anything, you know, have you anything with anything that you need or that you don't have or that sort of needs to be improved, you know, when it comes to that, using the energy system? Or
well, I believe what I have today, and the reason for my crowdfunding campaign to bring it to the public is to attract the talents, to be able to attract talents to this concept, so that we can take what I have today and take it one step further, to actually get closer to the real thing, where we can say we have found a form of natural clean energy that can be utilized all over the world. And I think I'm close to that, but I would still need that sophistication in the process to bring me there.
Yes, no, that's brilliant. I mean, it's great to, you know, be able to, you know, to get to where you are, you know, to have all that knowledge about it and so on. It's fantastic. Is there any is there much actual machinery involved? And if so, is there anything that can and ever does sort of go wrong? You know, when you're using the ATRE energy system, you know, is there like maybe there's a length of time for the batteries, or, you know, stuff like that? Is there any sort of thing?
if you really look at the system that I propose to build, it would look like your fridge.
Okay.
Similar to any fridge that you go to your closest appliance store and you bought a fridge and you bring it to your house and then you plug it into your wall socket. Now, the ATRE system that I envisioned to be built as a commercial prototype, the first unit, will be similar to a fridge. It will be similar size to a fridge as well, and it will contain all the panels inside, the ATRE panels, and it will have a battery bank. And of course, you're going to fill it with normal tap water, and you will leave the system on. You don't plug it into your utilities yet, so you will leave it on until the battery bank is fully charged.
Yeah.
Now there will be several battery banks built into the system that will charge once the first battery bank is fully charged. The next one will get charged, and the first one will disconnect from the system.
Okay.
And the power from that bank is available to you to be used.
Okay.
So one way now for me to do this is to develop a plug-and-play system where a usable battery bank can be plugged into your utility grid and provide you the electricity for your house.
Yeah.
While the other banks are charging.
Yes.
So once the other banks are fully charged and this bank is now drained, the system will automatically switch to the next bank and continue charging the original bank. So this is how I envision this system to work.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
And I envision that you will go to your local appliance store and buy a power system, not just a fridge. You will buy a power system.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. That's brilliant. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay. So that is the whole basic idea behind ATRE.
Brilliant. That's great. Have you any sort of idea roughly even of the, type of cost that, is there some sort of like price range that you're thinking for people to actually purchase the units for when they're done?
Yes, if you look on the campaign video, you will notice my remark on there, which says that I will basically, someone can acquire one of these units for half the cost of your fridge.
Okay, that's good. That's great. My goodness, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. So really, I mean, it sounds then that you're really close. I was going to ask how close is ATRE to free energy, but you've pretty much answered my question there. It's very, very close. How can other people then get involved, Leon? If people actually want to get involved in your project, or are you looking for investors, or is it mainly crowdfunding, or what are you actually looking for just to move your project on?
Sotiris, what I actually do here is I want to put myself out there to the public at this point to make awareness. But of course, any investor that listen to this video or listen to this interview or see my website across the internet in the coming days ahead and notice the potential of this technology is obviously very welcome to send me an email and talk. So I'm pretty much at this point trying to get enough backing for the system and to test the market in some way to see how well this technology would be perceived in the market. So anyone can go to my website at atrb.weebly.com, which is a very primitive website. In fact, it's a free website at this point that I'm using. Any person can go there, open the website, and look at the development process from the beginning up to today. And also witness how I'm going to move forward on the project to get to this commercial unit that I try to raise a couple of extra funds to get me to that point. So any person is very welcome to go there and send me an email through the website. So it's open for business at this point.
Yes. As well as that, there'll be a link under this video. There'll be a link under this video going to Leon's website, and also to your crowdfunding campaign as well. And if someone is visiting just from my blog, you will see all the buttons just below this video where you can go and find out more and visit Leon's website, Leon Barnard. And also there is a few other links that you really should check out to be able to actually find out more about this. So is there anything, Leon, that you would like to, anything you would like to tell our viewers today, to do, or to check out in particular? Is there anything in particular that you think that they should look over?
Well, I would invite people definitely to my website, atrb.weebly.com, for sure. Check it out first, see what the system is made of, and you will realize that, of course, when I talk about pricing, that my aim is that you can go to an appliance store and buy this at half the cost of your fridge, and that this would be realized. So if you go there and you scroll through the pictures and see how the product is made up, what it consists of, and how simple it actually works, then one would realize that there's great potential.
Absolutely. And I mean, anyone out there who's an investor and, invests in different things, I mean, to me, this, would sound like a very good investment that a lot of people would be really interested in buying. Not many people like to get high energy bills all the time. And, for the sake of the price of half a fridge, to be able to, reduce or completely get rid of your energy bills, it sounds like a no-brainer to me completely.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like science fiction, right? And I think a lot of the smart people out there are telling me, this product of yours sounds like science fiction. And I'm just saying, well, come check it out. And I will post as much of my own utility bills against my usage and my neighbors, and how ATRE influenced that. It is on my website. I will post them regularly over the course of this project, and just watch the development and see how it unfolds.
Have you been using it in your own property and other people's property, or so far? How many places have you used it?
Well, at this point, it's only used in my own dwelling. So it's available in my own dwelling for people to see. I've invited a couple of people over to see it and look at it. Yes, and those people are going to put their testimonies on the crowdfunding campaign in the next couple of days, and they will, give witness to what they saw, and they will tell you what they see, how the system works, and what the potential of that is. So, I can only testify to that at this point. But of course, getting to the final commercial sellable product is going to take a couple of steps further than when I'm talking today, of course.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think this sounds absolutely amazing, and I have great, visions for you for the future, with this, because it's a brilliant thing. It's a thing that everybody really needs. It's a thing that people all need. Anyone who's paying, huge electric bills, and it doesn't. The price of energy hasn't been getting that much cheaper recently. That's for sure. So it's great, to be able to just go and buy a piece of equipment to, see if you all that money and energy. It's just completely a no-brainer. So I would like to, thank you very much, Leon, today for coming on the interview with me and tell me all this, all the information about your product. It's absolutely groundbreaking. Anybody out there, who's an investor, you should definitely, be contacting Leon, immediately, because the benefits to people all around the world is it's just something that everybody, I think, should have. I think it's a sin that there's these big corporations that are, charging people who can't afford to pay money, old age pensioners and stuff like that, who are sitting freezing in their houses. When you can when guys like Leon are coming up with, concept like this that can save you an absolute fortune in energy, it's just something that has to be moved forward. And I wish you all the best for the future with this, Leon.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, like I said before, you can visit Leon's website. It's ATRB at
ATRB.weebly.com.
atrb.weebly.com. atrb.weebly.com. Check out the links below this video, or if you're on my blog or website, you can click on the links below to find out more. And I would highly recommend either making a donation today towards it, or just contacting Leon to see how you can also be a part of this. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.